Do you know Mara? Not Mara Express, not Mara Institute. Anyone have any experience with Mara? Have? You have? You have experience? Mara? Have you seen him? Huh? Well, in the earlier teachings of the Buddha, the word Mara, M-A-R-A, Mara. Mara is often translated and portrayed as the evil one or the tempter. And those of you who have read the life story of the Buddha, you know before the Buddha was enlightened how Mara came. Even after the Buddha was enlightened, Mara came to challenge the Buddha. That Mara is first and foremost can be understood as Deva Putta Mara. Deva Putta Mara. Deva Putta Mara is this, he is a Deva. This Deva Putta Mara is a Deva. He is in the highest realms of the Devaloka, in Paranimitta Vasavati Devaloka. Paranimitta Vasavati. That is the name of that celestial realm. And I would prefer to introduce him not so much of an evil one, but more as the challenger. He goes about to challenge those who are trying to strive for enlightenment, those who strive to do good and to purify their mind. This Devaputta Mara comes to challenge you. I remember before from Sri Lanka, when I was about to make the trip to Burma for a meditation retreat, and I was lying down and almost falling to sleep. And suddenly, I never thought about Mara, but suddenly I felt big hand pressing me down, pressing me. And then I did not know what it was. So I got up and still pressing it. Just a little while. And when I got up, I looked around, there was no one. And then I sat down. I sat down, and after a little while, my fear has gone. Then I thought, what was this? Anyway, I did not cling to this, I just let it go. It was only later that I realized, because some others also have various experiences of Mara. It is Devaputta Mara. They are deities, but they come sometimes, and purposely they disturb sometimes when people meditate, and then, don't be afraid, when you hear sometimes the door banging, creaking, and there's nobody there, there's no movement, what, make you be afraid. And so sometimes there can be this Devaputta Mara. Not hunters, some to challenge you. Now you have any experience? Anyway, don't come to immediate conclusions. And then, because from what I heard, some other monks when they were practicing that, then I realized that there can be maras. Now, the other kinds of mara, altogether, how many kinds of maras are there? Anybody knows? In the later Buddhist literature, in the Pali canon, they speak of 5 kinds of Mara. 5 kinds of Mara. The first is what's called Devaputta Mara. These are real beings. These are real beings that come to tempt you sometimes. Like, it is quite parallel. Those who read the life of Jesus Christ, Satan came to tempt him. Something like that. No? The second kind of Mara is actually inside us. They are the Kilesa Mara. Kilesa Mara. Kilesa Mara refers to the defilements in our minds. Sometimes, due to our defilements, what are the defilements in the mind? Due to our craving, our strong desires, hatred, jealousies, envies, and all these desires are maras. They become hindrance, they block the path to our spiritual progress. But they are regarded as maras also. So, sometimes when you have certain thoughts, when the last few thoughts arise, then you begin to see various kinds of things in your mind. These are not Devaputta Mara, but these are conditioned by your own defilements. So how through the defilements in the mind can generate this kind of maras? They are called Kilesa Mara. Then there is the third kind of Mara. These are called Khanda Mara. Khanda. Khanda is what? Aggregates. Glue. Now, you know what Khanda Mara is? Your mind and body together. We are all made up of how many aggregates? How many khandas? The word khanda in Pali means group or heap or aggregates. How many aggregates are you made up of? 5. 5 aggregates. What are the 5 aggregates? Body, aggregates of the body. Rupakanda, aggregates of feelings. Vedanakanda, Sanyakanda, aggregates of perception. Sankarakanda, aggregates of mental formation. And Vijnanakanda, the aggregates of consciousness. These 5 aggregates, or these khandas, they themselves can be regarded as maras, because they are big hindrances. Do you know how they can act as hindrance? When you want to develop your mind, when you want to meditate and develop your concentration and purify your mind, then you try to sit down. For how long can you sit down? 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? What happens when you sit for a longer period of time? What happens? The body, you begin to experience painful sensations. And so, what is it that is obstructing your practice? It is your body, isn't it? The aggregate of the body that is obstructing it. Or whilst you go for a retreat, you practice, and then suddenly, because of the lack of mindfulness in what you eat or your routine, then you catch a cold, become sick. Again, when the body is sick, the mind again cannot concentrate properly. When you are trying to train your mind. So this body can become an obstacle. Body can become an obstacle to our spiritual path. The mind too. The other khanda, Vedana khanda, feelings. Sanya khanda, perception. We may have wrong perceptions about things. Sankhara khanda, our ideas, thoughts, imaginations, concepts. When we cling to these thoughts and ideas, they are hindrances. They hinder our spiritual progress. Vijnana khanda, consciousness. All these khandas, they block. They can block. But we also need them, no? We must know how to overcome these hindrances by not clinging to them. Because when we cling to these aggregates, then they become obstacles to us, to our practice. That is why those beings who have practiced and those who have freed their minds from all cravings, from all attachments, when they relate to us their experience, they have to go through certain experience which actually certain very dangerous and life and death experience, between life and death experience. And it is just at the brink of death, then they come back and they realize that is how much they strive for. And then when they give up this fear, this attachment to the body, then they begin to see the true nature. Then they realize the truth of it. There were a few who have talked about their experiences. So, Khanda, this mind body, can be hindrance. Khanda Mara. Then, the next one is Karma. Kamma Mara. Karma. Our karmas, what we have done in the past, good and bad actions in the past, they condition our lives. And when we want to put an end to suffering, when we want to put an end to suffering, this karma comes, it ripens. Sometimes certain unwholesome karmas ripen and counteract. Or sometimes some good karma ripens. When good karma ripens, so many people come and tempt us with all the good things. They offer you, building, they make you abbot, chief abbot of the temple. This is also Mara. When you become the chief abbot, chief monk, you cannot go anywhere. You have to look after the temple. Very difficult for you to go out. And this is how the Mara came. And but it is because of your good karma. It is because of your good action that you become very popular. Many devotees come. And then also, when you think of them, so many, so pitiful, you have compassion for them, then you cannot go away. Very difficult to cut off. So sometimes these merits can also delay our salvation, our spiritual attainments. Because when goodness ripens, we see good things, Everything is nice and everything is good and pleasant. So when we see everything is pleasant, then there is no sense of urgency. No sense of urgency to get out, to strive, to put an end to suffering, because we don't see suffering. That is why purposely those who, although they experience pleasantness, they don't cling to those pleasant sensations. So purposely they contemplate. They contemplate on the unsatisfactoriness of life. Then there are 4 kinds of contemplation. Those who like to lead a religious way of life. 4 kinds of contemplations are very important to maintain the religious life. One is the contemplation on the virtues of the Buddha. the great qualities of the Buddha. When you recited just now, Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vidyacharana Sampanno and so on, you can recollect the virtues of the Buddha. But when you recollect the virtues, you don't recite so fast. After reciting, when you are doing your recollection, you can calm your minds down and then Itipiso Bhagava. Then you think of the Buddha. Then Arahang. He is an Arahant. Arahang, Arahang, Samma Sambuddho, Samma Sambuddho. When you recall like this a few times, Arahang, 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 while you are repeating these words in your mind, you think of an Arahant, who an Arahant is, free from all greed, hatred, ignorance. And then, Samma Sambuddho, Samma Sambuddho. Oh, he has fully enlightened through his own efforts. He has fully enlightened himself. Vidyacharana Sampanno, Vidyacharana Sampanno. Oh, you think how he is endowed with knowledge and conduct, how he has perfected his knowledge. He knows, he has all his developed the various psychic powers, and his conduct too, purified his manners. So when we think like this, this is how we contemplate on the virtues of the Buddha. You see, when we begin to contemplate again and again, again and again, then our minds, we will get used to arousing in our minds these good, wholesome thoughts in the mind. And when you think of it again and again, again and again, then you can inspire yourself and you will have greater confidence in the Buddha. This is how you develop confidence, saddha, faith, by contemplating on the great qualities of the Buddha. Then the second contemplation is the contemplation on metta, loving kindness. In fact, they are progressive. You can first think of the Buddha, the great qualities of the Buddha, and think of the compassion, great compassion of the Buddha. And immediately when you think of that, then the flow of your metta becomes very natural, metta. So these are the first two kinds of contemplation. The third contemplation is the contemplation on the loathsomeness on the body. Because first contemplation gives rise to energy. When you have faith, energy, then you can send out your energy, metta. And when you radiate your metta, you will feel very pleasant, very good. So, in order not to cling to such pleasantness, then you have another contemplation. That is the loathsomeness on the body. Loathsomeness on the body means to contemplate on the true nature of the body. When your mind is calm, then you can think of the hair of the head. And keep on contemplating, just thinking hair of the head. Just concentrate on one thing. And you can visualize the hair on the scalp of your head. And then try to pick out one hair growing. And then keep on looking at that hair of the head, hair of the head. In your mind, mentally, you see. The more you, then this is how, when your mind becomes concentrated, then the thought, whatever thought that the thing that you think of, that will appear in front of your mental screen. You will be able to see that. Then you see the hair. And then you contemplate on the impermanent nature of this hair. Then you can see how the hair grow and fall down. And disappear. And then, many hair grow, fall down. Like this kind, you can see, and then you will give up. So once you can see one, then you start seeing the other parts of the body. From the hair of the head to the hair of the body, nails, teeth, skin, and then go to the other parts of the body. Then you will be able to see all these different parts of the body. Then understand, you will realize the true nature of this body. And loathsomeness in the sense that it is loathsome because it is dirty. You think it is very clean? If you do not wash your head for 1 week, 2 weeks, very clean. If you don't, there's no water, you don't wash, don't clean your body for 1 or 2 weeks, you can see how clean it is. This is the nature of the body. Every time it exudes all the filth, all the grease, the oil. See the real nature of the body. When you begin to see the real nature of the body, this is how you can cut off your attachment, cravings to the body. That is how to overcome lust, how to overcome strong sensual desires. Then another contemplation is the contemplation on death. When you contemplate on death, then what happens? You think that, now, how do you contemplate on death? You think, great people in this world. You can think of whoever great people that you admire. They also pass away. Think of the Buddha, all enlightened teacher. He also have to pass away. All his great disciples, they also have to pass away. So what more about me? I too will have to pass away. Like that. When you contemplate like this, but very important is that when you practice, especially the loathsomeness and contemplation on death, your mind must be balanced. You must have joy, not to have not to become depressed and aversion, because it can lead to that kind of aversion for the body and become depressed. So we must know how to balance. That is why first we do these 4 kinds of whenever you find that, your mind is a bit depressed, then you think of the Buddha. And then again you give metta, like that. And then you balance up your mind. You balance your faculties with these 4 contemplations. These are called the protective contemplations. These protective contemplations are mainly for those, I'm just talking for those who like to continue, who like to maintain their religious aspirations, and not necessarily those who want to become monks and nuns, but there are amongst the lay people, when they do not have any opportunity, they would like to lead their lay lives, and some, after seeing the sorrows and also the unsatisfactoriness of the family life, they prefer to remain single, bachelor boys and bachelor girls and so on. Then to remain single, it's very important to have a strong mind, balanced mind, must have right contemplation. Otherwise, when loneliness sets in, all the cravings, all the disturbances in the mind, either craving or they become very, anger, aversions arising in their minds through suppressions. So it is important to know how to generate a more balance and how to build up this balanced mental faculties through these 4 protective meditations. So again, the contemplation of death will arouse in us the sense of urgency to practice, and to do whatever good that we can. We will not postpone it. Because if we don't think about death, we never think of doing it. We will always postpone. When we think, we can go old like that, we will, then we quickly do things. But if you think too much of it, then you try to, you will try to be too impatient. You will become very impatient. You want to do everything quickly, realize everything within a short span of time. Then again you have restlessness in the mind. It must be balanced. This must be balanced. So this kind of contemplations for those who can overcome that sankhara, kamma. Kamma is the karma, all our good and bad actions. Good actions too can become a hindrance to our practice. When we cling to pleasant situations, we don't want to go. Then, so how many kinds of Mara so far? First kind of Mara is Devaputta Mara, then the Kilesa Mara, then Kamma Mara, then there is Machu Mara, Kanda. We have talked about Kanda Mara. And the 5th one is Machu. Machu means death. Death is a Mara itself. When death comes, then while we are practicing, we want to practice, and then suddenly, we dropped it. Then what happens? It hinders our further progress. Again we will be reborn. But it takes a long time, no? Little one and then this one. Takes a long time for us to get opportunity again. And that also depending on conditions, depending on where we are born. So death can be Mara also. So now you understand 5 kinds of Maras. They are considered as Maras because they hinder, they block our path to salvation. When you are working for salvation, these Maras can come and block path to salvation. Okay? There are other aspects of Mara too. Now, any other questions that you want to ask? And, his questions, very useful. Now we talk about avoiding evil and doing good. And when you do good, sometimes when you do good, and you tend to encourage others, to do bad. Because when you do good to somebody, like he gave that example, like you see some animals, and you take pity, that animal is very hungry, so you feed. And after you have fed, that animal go and attack somebody. That is not his example, this is my example. That animal go and bite somebody. Now, whose karma is that? Is it still your karma? Then? You see? So remember, very easy to understand here. The karma is, your intention. How through your intention you do. With intention you do something good, right? Now, we do some good actions with good intention. Now, with that good intention, we help that animal. Right? And then, after that, that animal do something bad. It is not our bad karma. Pardon? Me? Now I am giving another example, not these things. This is a more, a clearer example where this animal go and bite somebody. So now so is this bad action attributed to you? No, you have done your part. Understand? But that is why there are also certain considerations when we do good. When we do good, we have also to consider to whom we should do. We don't only give things, everything to everybody. Right? We consider. That consideration, that is what you call giving in a wise manner. So you have to practice your virtues with wisdom. Because when you do good things without wisdom, then the karma, the action is good. But people can blame you. Understand? You are not free from, people can blame you. But when you do an action wisely, you consider the pros and cons of your action so as to minimize the blame. Blame will come. Whatever you do, people can blame you. But you can try to minimize. Some people, when they want to do some good things, they don't care for others. This is good. I think this is good. I do. Don't worry about all the others, what they say. They do, and then they get a lot of blame. Then afterwards they get fed up. They say, I do good also. And these people do not appreciate, they blame me, and they say, because that good action has been done without wisdom. So that is why when you study about karma, that action you perform, the nature of or the strength of that karma, how the reaction will come, depends on quite a few things, quite a few conditions. It depends on the receiver also. Who is it that you do to? And then the value of their lives. How valuable they are. Then the duration of the time taken for you to perform that action. All these factors contribute to the intensity of that karma, to the strength of that action. You see? That is why different beings, even not to talk about animals. Animals, we know, there are different animals have different values. Human beings too. Some human beings are more valuable than other human beings. You try to touch those on the higher, what you call the high society, the rulers. You try to do anything wrong to them, very strong, the reaction comes. But if you do something to some people, nobody knows that person, then nobody suits you. So, when you do something, this is when you consider the purity of that person. If you do something good to the person who is pure, then that action goes a longer way, because when you have performed that good action, when you give food, when you support such pure beings, noble beings, then their lives, you maintain their lives, you support their lives, and with that life, they can continue to do more good action, noble actions. So when you come to know that they are here, they are there, and so many people are benefiting, then you become happy because you have supported so-and-so. So how the good action, when you sow to good people, good beings, noble beings, Your happiness, the power of that good action can regenerate. You can become happy again and again. On the other hand, when you support some people whom you do not know, they are not worthwhile. They do not deserve. Some of them are robbers, bandits. Then after eating, they go about to do their job. They go and rob this place, kill that person. And when you hear, you see the newspaper, oh, that person, I fed him. Then you regret, should not have done that. So there are these are what you call different field of merits, different field of merits. Just as there are different kinds of soil, different kinds of earth, that some are more fertile than others. On the sandy soil, you grow the seeds. The plants cannot grow properly. But when you put it on the fertile ground, the plant grows, the seed will grow, and into very healthy plants. Similarly, our actions too, to whom we do these good actions, right? There are different levels. Okay? So when you learn about karma, although it's very simple, we say good action gives rise to good results. But again, not all that simple when we want to practice, when we want to purify our minds, purify our actions. We have to do it, do the good things with wisdom, with wisdom. He asked this question, when the money, in other words, when the money comes from not a very pure source, right? Like, gambling, through gambling, these things. And can that person, if the Toto company sponsors and help another to heart transplant, can that person be well? Of course. I mean, depending on the person's karma also, understand? If there are certain karmic there, and it is possible. But of course, there are purer forms of assistance. If somebody with a purer mind assists, that energy, the pure energy, is much stronger. Understand? In other words, there are also different ways of influencing the reaction. Those who have very strong, pure minds, and when they do the good action, the chances of that good action, the chances of helping that being is greater. Understand? Some people who just give, but the motives may not. It's not pure giving. So the thing that is received, so it may be able to also, but the purity is to a lesser degree. Sometimes the chances are less also. But it is a good action. Good action. It is very difficult. It is very difficult to be good, but it's easier to do good. Do you know the difference between doing good and being good? Doing good means you are pure, you are wholesome. But doing good, you can do good action. Even though sometimes not so pure in the motives, you can do good actions. Oh, many people donate, like what he says. Many people donate and do things not out of pure motive. No? They donate, but behind it there is something else. They want their name. They want fame. They want glory. So they have this motive in that. That giving is good. That's a good action. No? But not a pure action. Not pure action. But it's very difficult to wait until the action is pure. But those who know this can try to purify your minds. And so really, it's very, very difficult to do good with a very pure mind. Because the worldly mind is such, whenever you do something good, you think something to get something back in return. No? Always you think something in return. Now, for those who have come to the Dhamma, and those who are interested in working for their salvation, in other words, they have higher values of life, then when they perform some good actions, they will have certain aspirations. Aspirations are quite different from the ordinary expectations, cravings. The difference is this. When you perform some good action, naturally, whether you ask for it or not, whether you like it or not, some good effect will come to you. When you perform, say for example, you do dana, you offer food to the monks, or you do some good actions, the good reaction will come to you, whether you like it or not. But those who want to purify their minds, they will make certain aspirations. These aspirations are such that they strengthen the mind and they determine that by the good actions that they have done, may they have the opportunity to do more good actions, to help others more. Or may they be in a position, in a better positions to help others. Or some who have heard about the devas and how some devas have certain powers. They can help human beings. So they say, in that case, by these good actions, may I become a powerful devas. I can help all the people. Yes, certain devas can help some beings. Then those who have still higher aspirations, they say, by these good actions, may I realize Nibbana, may I put an end to all sufferings, help others to overcome the sufferings. This kind of aspirations. This is just, when you perform some good action, you must direct the energy. Otherwise, it is just like you turning on the ignition of your car, ignition key of your car, and putting on the accelerator, because there is the fuel there. Energy is generated. And then you press your accelerator and leave your clutch. What happens? The car moves, right? Bound to move, because there's petrol, there is energy, it will go. Where does it go to? You do not know where it goes to. It can just go and bang your garage door. Or the car may just run into a drain. Right? But what do? With all the energy that has been generated, you steer the car. You use the steering wheel. You steer it in the direction that you want. Right? So also, when we perform some good action, there is this energy, this karmic force we have generated. Now, where do we want to steer it to? Where do we want to direct it to? So we can direct this energy in this direction. In which direction? You generally direct the good energy, wholesome forces, to that directions where you most need it, where you have certain weakness in certain behavior, sometimes you have certain weaknesses like anger, hatred, jealousies. Then you think, by these virtues may I be able to overcome my weaknesses. You generate that. So you have strong mind when you do some good action. See how this merits, how the good actions. When you do some good actions, your mind becomes purified, and there is happiness in the mind. When there is happiness in the mind, you can concentrate. When you can concentrate, with that concentrated mind, you think of certain thing. You make that aspiration, determination, resolution, or sometimes people call it vow. When you make that, then this is how you direct, and it becomes a very strong force. Leading you becomes a very strong karma, and that will have results too. It will bear the results. This is actually the essence of prayer. In Buddhism, we do not really talk about prayers as is understood by. You see, when you recite the suttas, the paritas, just now, this evening, where in the sutta that says that, oh Buddha, please give me my food every day, and you don't do these things. And you recite what? You recite Namo Tassa, then you go for the 3 refuges, then take the 5 precepts, renew your 5 precepts, then recite virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Are these all prayers? Are they prayers? Now you see. Because usually people think prayers means must ask something, isn't it? None so far, there's nothing to ask now. You are only reciting these things, great virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. But what you are doing is this. You don't ask first. First you do all the good things. You come, you clasp your hands, then you think of the Buddha, and you pay your homage to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. What are you doing? You are arousing in your mind, you are arousing some wholesome thoughts, some good thoughts in your mind. Thoughts of reverence. When you arouse this reverence in your mind, respect in your mind, gratitude, then your mind becomes calm, becomes strengthened. And then after that you recite, you take refuge in the Buddha. And then you renew your precepts. All the good things, avoiding, you will avoid this, avoid that, and do the good things. And then you think of the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. You arouse good thoughts in your mind while you are reciting. Now this is how you can get inspired by that. And then, towards the later part, you have, in fact, after reciting salutation to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, you have that part. Do you recite etena satchavajena patumang ratanattayam? What? You recite like this, that by these virtues, by the truth of these great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, may I be protected. Havana. Then you go on reciting other suttas. And then you say, etena satchavajena sotime huntu sappada. Then you say, by this truth, by the truth of this discourse, what has been preached by the Buddha, may I be happy. And when you recite certain other suttas, etena satchavajena hotu me jaya mangala, you say, by these truths, may joyous victory be mine. What is this joyous victory? Of course, it finally means the total eradication of all suffering, the attainment of the highest bliss. This is the greatest victory. Because the real victory is where there is no defeat. There is real victory where there is no defeat. In the worldly sense, when somebody raises the fingers and says, victory, that means what? That means he has defeated others. That means others have been killed. Many others have been killed and he is victorious. That is why the Buddha Dhamma is not like this. That's why the Buddha says, real victory is such that there is no defeat. You do not defeat anyone else. Nobody else is defeated. That is how you gain real victory. So how can you get victory without defeating others? Do you know how? You think, how can you gain victory without defeating others? The only thing that you can defeat is, defeat what? Mara. Defeat your greed, hatred, and delusion. This is the only three things that you are permitted to kill. All others you cannot kill, but sometimes they use the word kill also, no? Buddha says, I also kill. Kill what? Kill greed, kill hatred, kill ignorance. So, this is how we understand karma, law of cause and effect. I see. What is the Buddhist view on creativity, like arts, music, and so on? Do you know, in the height of Buddhist civilization, most of the arts and the music that you see, and the arts and the craftsmanship, the fine handicrafts, when you go to Tibet, Nepal, Burma, Thailand, amongst the Cambodians, Laotian, how they are able to carve, and the Japanese, beautiful, and all the Chinese paintings and crafts, they are all the result of what? Of the religious mind, good mind, these things. No? So Buddhism does not say that one should not meddle with music and meddle with arts, all that. No. But not refined arts, refined crafts, you see. So all the arts that you see, actually, they depict something. They have some story to tell. And they teach us something, you see. So, but today, people have used music and art and to promote other values, sensual values, you see. And these are the things that we should try to avoid. These are the things that we would not promote. But as there are certain songs like you are singing, certain hymns. These hymns have been composed, have been sung. And because we have to understand the needs, the human needs. Food for the body alone is not sufficient, right? Do you know what kind of food you need? There is the food for your body. There is also the food for your senses. You need some food for your eyes, for your ears, for your nose, for your tongue, for your body, for your mind. Sense impressions, these are what you call sense impressions. So, there are some sense impressions which are very gross. Some are more refined. So, at certain states of our development, we need certain kind of food. Some people need slightly grosser food than others. But then you go on purifying the intake. And that is how you go to more from the grosser songs. You give up those grosser songs with the purpose because people like to sing. Naturally, why do they sing? Do you know how music started? Somebody says that music is nothing but lamentation. You know what lamentation is? It is how they lament in a more melodious manner, you see. You see, always when they are lonely. When do you sing? When do you sing when you feel very bored and lonely? Just to cheer yourself up, you start singing, right? So it is a form of lamentation. And then you get attached to that. When you get attached to that, without these musics, then your mind becomes again bored, again you feel very low. This kind of attachment If you want to develop your mind, you should try to cut off this kind of attachment. Because otherwise, everywhere you go, you have to bring your music box. You see? So if you can train your mind to listen, in fact, not necessarily certain kind of songs, because when people cling to certain kind of songs, these are all songs. If you go to the jungles, without bringing your music box, you can also listen to the music. But they are natural ones. At 3 o'clock you can hear one kind of insect. And then the cicadas, like that. And then, the frog. You think it is like a duck. And the birds. And if you listen carefully, they are another kind of music, maybe form. And you don't get disturbed by them. But when you are attached to certain kind of songs, certain kind of music, then all these others distract you. They are distractions. See how your attachment, when you live free, you allow free, then you can't. So, from the Buddhist point of view, Buddhist attitude towards these things, we do not say that it is wrong to do these things. What we say is, for those who want to develop themselves, they should try to reduce, because the more you indulge your senses, your eyes, nose, tongue, body, the weaker your mind becomes. When you indulge in your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, your mind, mental faculties becomes weaker, although you develop the other faculties. Now, take for example, you are opening your eyes, listening and looking and listening, but you are not so much aware of your thoughts. The moment you start closing your eyes, when you close your eyes, what happens? Your ears become more sensitive. And then your feelings, you become more aware of your feelings. And then you become more aware of your thoughts. This is how. When you don't cling to your feelings, if you cling to your feelings, unpleasant feelings, then you cannot watch your mind. Finish. But if you can overcome, you don't cling to that feelings, pleasant or unpleasant sensation, then you can watch your mind. You can watch your thoughts. Yeah. You see? So like that, when you give up slowly, these attachment to the senses, then your mind you can become more aware of your thoughts, and you can channel your thoughts properly. This is why all religions, at the higher levels, at the spiritual levels, they discourage sensual pleasures. Although some, to a certain degree, at varying degrees only. When you have in meditation, right? And it depends what kind of meditation you are talking about, right? When you have certain calmness, and then you cling to that calmness, enjoy in that calmness, and float with that calmness and this, then you are enjoying yourself. You are indulging in that calmness. When you indulge in this kind of calmness, your mind cannot be sharpened. That is not real Buddhist meditation. Understand? The Buddhist meditation in calmness, we use this calmness to develop our insight, to turn our attention to watch, to see the real nature of our mind, of our body. The moment we cling, then that is enjoying. That is, yes. That is why we see these things. But when you cling to it, then the mind, where there is attachment, then breeds more greed, craving, desires. Yes, you can sit with in an upright position, straighten up your body. Take a few deep breaths, breathe in and breathe out. Now, as you breathe in, you may mentally note Bud. Breathing out, mentally note Do. Using the syllables Buddho. Breathe in Bud. Breathe out Do. Breathe in, breathe out naturally. Free your mind from all the thoughts, all past, whatever things that have happened, or whatever things that you have been planning, you are planning. Just free your mind from these thoughts and just observe the present moment. Just observe your breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Any other thoughts or distraction that arises in your mind, as soon as you become aware of them, you will mindfully return your attention to your breath. Breathe in, breathe out normally. As you breathe in, you can mentally note Bud. Breathing out, mentally note Do. Turn your attention to your body, maintaining your body in an upright position. Breathe in, breathe out normally. As you breathe in and out, just relax your body. Feel the whole body relax. From the top of your head right down to the tip of your toes, just relax your body. May this body be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May it experience calm and peace. May this whole body be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May it experience calm and peace. In the same manner, you will recall to mind of all your religious teachers, if you have any, wherever they may be. May they too be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. May all our religious teachers be well and happy. Now recall to mind of your parents, mother and father, all those who are living wherever they are now. May they too be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. May all our parents be well and happy. In the same manner, you extend your thoughts of loving kindness to all your brothers and sisters and all the other members of your family, relatives and friends, whoever that comes to your mind. May they all be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May they have calm and peace. Now spend a few minutes as you breathe in and breathe out. Just radiate out your thoughts in all the directions, above, below, and all around you. Fill this whole shrine, this whole room with your thoughts of loving kindness, that all who are gathered here, known or unknown to you, seen or unseen, may all be free from ill health, free from sufferings. May all experience calm and peace. Going beyond the confines of this shrine to the whole temple premises, all the surrounding areas, covering the whole capital, federal territory, the whole country, and to as far as your mental vibrations can reach. That may all beings, known or unknown to us, seen or unseen, all that dwells in the air, in the open space, on land, in the waters, may they all be well and happy. May they be free from ill health, free from sufferings, free from harm and dangers. May all be well and happy. Breathe in, breathe out normally. As you breathe in and out, just radiate out your thoughts of loving kindness in all the directions. That may all beings be well and happy. All beings be well and happy. Bhatu sabba mangalam rakkhantu sabba devata Sappabhutanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te bhavatu sappamangalam rakkantu sabba devata Sappadhammanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te bhavatu sappamangalam rakkantu sabba devata Sappha Sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te. May all be well and happy. Now slowly return your attention to your body. Take a few deep breaths, breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in and out, just slowly open your eyes, be wide awake, calm and peaceful. Slowly open your eyes and be wide awake. Mindfully relax yourselves. Open your eyes when you are calm and quiet, no? And slowly open your eyes, and when you slowly open your eyes, maintain that calmness, no? Don't quickly open your eyes and calmness all gone away, and then when you maintain, when your eyes are open and calm, then you can look around you, and as whatever you see, you know you are seeing, you are aware of what you are seeing, and that's it. And just be aware of all things that is happening around you. And train your mind, just when you see, just seeing, without clinging, without any commentaries in your mind, without grumbling, without craving, without aversion, and whatever you hear, you can hear. When you train the mind, calm down the mind and train to see these things, you will see that everything just come to pass only. Whatever things that you see will just come and go. Whatever things that you hear, the sound comes and go. Whatever feelings, it arises, it goes, arises and goes. And just keep on watching these phenomena and see how coming and going, until you are one with this nature. And everything coming and going. You are just part of it, that's all. Then your mind can be free, and try to lengthen this period. Keep on lengthening this period. Whenever you are free, you can just get into calmness, calm down your mind, and then free your mind and observe. And be aware. Don't cling to that. Sometimes there's a strong tendency for us to cling to the calmness. And when we cling to calmness, then we tend when we are disturbed, when we have to think for something, then aversion arises because we want to maintain. There is that wanting to maintain calmness. This is something that we experience. So that's why when people get into meditation and they get calm and tranquil, and then when their wives or husband calls them up, children calls them up, then they, get very angry, and tension arises, because then slowly you come up with awareness, so that you don't lose that calmness so quickly. You can maintain that calmness. Even when your eyes are open, you try to maintain your calmness and peace.